If this works, good evening from Cherville High School.
If this works, good evening from Cherville High School.
Hey, how about Witherspoon Stadium? How about them Iron Men? Round one of the playoffs.
Round one of the playoffs.
Oh, turn that down a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, turn that down a little bit. Yep. I'll get all this turned down a little bit. Yep. We'll get all this turned down for the folks. Here we go. Get all this turned down. We good. Calvin in the radio back of the game is going to be losing money. Okay. Just turn it all the way down.
All right, go ahead.
All right, go ahead.
All right, good evening and welcome to the pregame show. Ken Lincoln, Brian Branch here with you.
Our sound guys over there.
Yeah, I think I lost my mic.
I think I lost all our mics there.
Yeah.
Check. There we go. We're losing our ears here. I think we're good on the radio, guys. All right, we're good to go. So
Okay.
sorry about that. Guys, we are live on location at Cherville High School. I'm Kevin Hastings along with Tom Cinefani, Ken Link, and Brian Branch. Jakari Shell's here. We've got the Tiger is here. Where's our camera guy? Let's see. Jakari, hop on that camera guy real quick. And, well, no, I say let's use Gracie for that. Jakari, just mind that for a minute. We're going to show you. We got the Tiger here right now. Gracie, go ahead and just turn it on the Tiger. You have to move your Tiger's here today. He's coming to visit everybody. He's ready to rock. And we've got all kinds of things. We've got cheerleaders. We've got bands. They got a field goal out here. You're going to have to go out there and show us a spiral. We've got a big night ahead of us. Here at Cherville High School. Like I said, we've got a lot of big teams too. We've got 2 through 6 football playoffs here at Kansas City broadcast. And so we're going to go look at some of those games. Let me pull up for the folks at home the brackets tonight, and you guys can see those listening. And if you're listening on the radio, you can watch the show live tonight. Like I said, live from Cherville High School tonight. And we've got we're going to have all kinds of fun here tonight. They do have food trucks out here. They're going to be out. Come on to the parking lot, tailgate, kick some field goals, sign up for some things. They got a big video screen here. I don't know what else is going on out here in the parking lot.
Cherville Chamber of Commerce is also out here today.
Yeah, they got some treats they giving away. Look like some leftover Halloween treats.
Now, Ken, you heard a little while ago you was talking, and how many years has it been since Cherville's had a home game? Actually won the playoff game too as well?
2006 was the last time they had a home game and actually won that playoff game.
So 2006, it's hard to believe that was 19 years ago. Ken. Seemed like it was yesterday, but it has been a while. So that's why the celebration and the good mood, and Cherville hosting a playoff game here, and one they would be favored to win. What do you think, Stoke 68-8 when you see that with a great fade. It's just so long. So many teams. We know that player might be out but might look at that number. Coming Bradley, close. Cherville does outgain their opponent in this match. South Stokes averaging about give or take 180 yards a game. Cherville up over 200 yards a game. So I would think that Cherville, this matchup favors them, and plus it's a long ride from North Stokes.
Now let's see if Brian walks right in front of the camera. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Everybody knows looking at the booth. Sorry. Come on around. All right, folks. Let's go over to our teams. Yeah, Brian wants it now. We're going to get to the race to the wall. Brian the Rock.
All right, so in the 3A night, let's try to break down a little bit about that matchup. East Davidson travels to Hendersonville. Madison will visit West Davidson. Polk County will visit East Surrey. Union County, the Union County Cardinals, I believe that's a charter school, will visit the Owen Warhorses. Wheatmore will visit West Wilkes. McMichael visiting Shelby, and that matchup I think heavily favors the Gold Lions. We'll talk about that one. And then the Chase Trojans will visit the Thomasville Bulldogs. And that's your 3A matchups. And the 2A matchups, we'll go ahead and do that one too. South Stokes right here at Cherryville. Elkin will visit Mountain Island Charter. The Highland Tech Rams will be visiting Hayesville, long ride for them. And Avery County visiting North Rowan. All those are in the 2A tonight. Ken?
Okay, in the 4A, you got Fortis Falcons traveling over to play West Stanley Wildcats. West Stanley Colts. That's West Stokes Wildcats.
Yeah, West Stokes. Yeah, that's right.
West Stanley Colts playing at Lexington. Eastburg at Tuscola. Ashe County at West Iredale. Lake Norman Charter at Credit Ford. Salisbury Hornets at North Surrey. South Rowan Red Raiders at Vantage Trojans. RF Central travels over to play Wilkes Central Eagles. That's your 4A. Two more games that were left in the 2A tonight. That's Cherokee Brave at Albemarle. Lane Creek at Mitchell. And a couple of these in this column, the last two are 6A.
Yeah.
You got Mount Tabor at St. Stephen's and South Caldwell at
the AC Reynolds
Rockets.
I guess, Brian, I would just go to the right then up because those are the rest of the 6A matchups
that's where I was headed. So we got the Ben L. Smith Golden Eagles traveling to Kings Mountain to face the Mountaineers. The Alexander Central Cougars are traveling to Statesville to face the Greyhounds. Central Cabass Vikings are traveling to Southeast Guilford Falcons, and then the Glen Bobcats are headed to the Dudley Panthers. That concludes the 6A bracket that we're covering in this area. And then we go up to 5A. We got the Irwin Warriors traveling down to Gastonia to Hunter Huss. The Southern Guilford Storm is traveling to the West Rowan Falcons. The East Rowan Mustangs are at the West Henderson Falcons. Forest View Jaguars are traveling to Concord to face the Spiders. Montgomery Central Timberwolves are facing the Carson Cougars. Smoky Mountain Mustangs travels to Forest Hill, and that's a haul. To face the Yellow Jackets. North Lincoln Knights is headed to Oak Grove to face the Grizzlies, and the North Henderson Vikings is traveling to North Davidson to face the Knights.
All right, folks, we're going to send it back to the studios. Hey, we're going to have some Pete's Fish Blocks back in the studios here in a little bit. When we get done here, we're going to be so starving from being out here and working so hard. We're going to get some Pete's Fish Blocks. Give them a call tonight. That's our pregame sponsor. Also, our food sponsor. Don't forget, this show brought to you by Witherspoon Insurance of Shelby. Wayne Witherspoon and the gang. Thanks for taking care of us. If you watch it online, you see the new Cherryville Cherry helmets here, over here, the black and the red. We'll get a good shot of that in a minute. All right, coming up next, we're going to talk to Jawan and Brian about Cherryville High School, and then we're going to talk to Jakari about that Shelby McMichael matchup when we come back. KTCBroadcasting.com.
shower, and the stuff that you flush. So if it clogs and backs up, you can very well find yourself with chemical paper by Shelby Hardware. They're ready for winter weather. Are you? Get ready with a stop in at Shelby Hardware. Take a look at the kerosene heaters. Sizes 10,000 to 26,500. BTU models. Also electric and propane heaters. And even refurbished heaters. Shelby Hardware has rechargeable hand warmers and heated scarves. And see the new Milwaukee heated vest and jackets. Plus toboggans, gloves, and for those cold football games, heated stadium seats. Get ready for the cold with a stop in at Shelby Hardware. 506 South Lafayette Street in Shelby. Okay, now back to the Witherspoon.
Okay, folks, welcome back to the Witherspoon Insurance of Shelby pregame show. Ken Link, Brian Branch with you, and we have the announcers with us for the Cherryville playoff game tonight. Juwan and Brian are going to be talking a little bit about this upcoming game.
It's going to be a good one.
Yes, sir.
I think it's going to be a real good one.
I'm just happy to be here, man, to see all this stuff going on, the energy. We got playoff football.
Yeah.
Home game.
Exactly.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, it's good to see some excitement around the Cherryville program.
It really is.
I think Coach Bowman's done an excellent job.
Absolutely.
That's what Coach Bowman talked to us before. He said, man, they're going to have game day up there today. He said, we're at the big time.
Yes, sir.
They were all, he said, man, now the longest day in ever, from the time we start the day at 7:30 until kickoff. He said, it seems like it never gets here. So he's anxious to go. They're ready to go. They've had a really good week of practice, and he's really excited about what they can do and how it's going to fare, against North Stoke. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah, good game. It's going to be a good game because the way Stokes tries to get the ball out really quickly, and he said, we're battle tested against that kind of stuff.
And they throw the ball a lot, don't they?
They do, and quarterback wants to get rid of it. Yeah, and he's either going to pass it or he's going to toss it to one of the backs, and so some RPO stuff in there, run pass option in there, but he's looking to get the ball out quickly. So defensively, the Ironmen are going to have to be strong on the corners of the secondary as well as on the defensive ends assignments and the defensive end, talking to Coach Kerrigan this morning, defensive ends have got to give them pressure. They got to get pressure from the defensive ends so that he makes a decision, because the longer that quarterback has time to be back there and to think about things, the more dangerous he can be.
Well, I'll tell you what, after last week's game, they should have some practice on defending the pass. The way the kid was scrambling around for Bessemer last week. So I think we'll be all right tonight. I talked to Coach yesterday, too, and what's funny, he said after we got done talking, I shook his hand. He said, is there anything I can do for you? Let me know. I said, bring that Bessemer City championship belt so I can flash it for Kenneth Hastings.
That walks away. So that was the belt. That's the belt you were going after.
I've been looking for it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Yes, you did. You got that one well deserved there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, like I say, I've watched Cherville several times. We were down here with you one night when you had a little issue with some equipment. We came down and watched. And I watched the Burns game where they moved the ball between the 20s. I mean, they absolutely moved the ball up and down the field. So I don't have any doubt tonight that they will have any issues moving the football.
And you said they played some opponents where they faced this. I mean, I was impressed when they played Lincoln with Lynch with their really elusive quarterback, and Lincoln won the game 28-0, but that game was pretty close most of the way.
Yes, sir. And Lincoln has scored more than 28 on a lot of those games. Yes, sir.
Yes, exactly right. So I think this conference has done nothing but prepare them to have some success in their bracket. So I look forward to put up a good number tonight.
And I like what Coach Bowman said too. He said we're not playing. He said the people we've already played are just as good as this team tonight. He said we're not playing anybody that's better than the teams we've already played, and that's exactly what all you guys are saying. They're battle tested, and they feel that. They feel that. The players feel that, and that's going to be nice. Yes.
Well, it's great to hear that they've got some confidence, and like I say, hope they leave this game with even more confidence going into a second-round matchup. It's going to be tough.
That's good. It's going to be, We'll take it for one thing at a time, but you know what? It's in the sights. It's in the sights. There's no doubt. Absolutely.
Well, the first time we've done this pregame show outside here at a site, and I tell you, I'm enjoying it. It's a big deal out here. It's excitement. You can feel it. The people coming in, and they're ready for some good things to happen tonight.
Yeah, and I love what they're doing. I mean, people from everywhere. This is great, and this is exciting. And again, well deserved for these players. Well deserved for this coaching staff, for this athletic department here at Cherville High School. They're doing a heck of a job. And so I really appreciate KTC Broadcasting being here and letting us have a chance to look around here.
You know what? Speaking of that, I appreciate the community, man. Once you get the rolling, get some couple wins, the people will come.
Yes, they will.
And, that's obvious here tonight. It kind of gives a college tailgating vibe out here, man.
Well, I love it. And I'll say this, according to what I heard, it was a school that contacted the community and the radio station asking, can you do this? And thank Calvin Hastings and Kevin for setting this all up. It took a little bit of work.
Absolutely. This takes a lot of. I had no idea what was going to be here tonight. Coach Bowman's the one that told me, like I said earlier, he said, "No, we got game day coming." That's right. There you go. And so this is awesome.
I think he's expecting me to do some Pat McAfee stuff.
You got to take your shirt off.
That's awesome. That's great. Yeah, this is fun. This is a lot of fun. Really is.
Well, like I say, you guys, coming from a standpoint, their rushing game should translate in this game, correct?
Yes,
sir.
That's what we're looking for out of Cherville's ball control, keeping the ball out of the hands of that guy.
And I think if you look at the stats, they had a lot more yardage throwing than they did running the ball. So I think they want to pass the ball. That's what they want to do.
Right.
Get it out quick, throw it, make some things happen.
The best way to stop that is keep it out of their hands.
Keep it out of their hands.
football, control the clock, keep the football out of their hand.
And one thing Coach Brown mentioned, because unfortunately Jackson Hefner is still out. But what it has done is given J.J. McElhaney the opportunity to step in, and he said now J.J. is like, hey, this is me right here. This is me. This is my position.
Yeah, he had flashed several times when I've watched him. He had really flashed.
Yeah, and also the Proctor kid, he's taken great advantage of his opportunities.
Yes, he has.
And I know that I've seen this a couple times when they go with the big package and push the big guy back there,
right?
And they still do that sometimes. They do a change-up.
Yes, absolutely. And it's so I like to see that too, because every now and then it's the big guys.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden they'll spread it out, and you got JJ taking the snap, and it forces that defense to spread, and it puts them on an island. You're hoping, especially on the deep pass and on the corners, you're hoping that puts them on the island like you need it. And I tell you what, all we need, Nigel Whitworth, we've been saying this for the whole season.
All year long,
and I mean, if he gets loose, he's gone.
Yeah,
he's gone. And I think we're going to see something out of Elijah tonight.
Absolutely.
He might be our player to watch.
And the thing about changing it up that way, when you do that, the defense sees that on film. They got to try to prepare for both things.
Exactly.
And hey, you may find a weakness in one of those and you exploit it. That's what you want to do.
Right. That's right. So it's going to be good. And Coach Bowman, I mean, he's very confident. Yeah. He's very confident. But he's confident in the scheme they put together and in what they practice. Yep. And he knows the strong points, of South Stokes, but he also knows their weaknesses too. Yes. And I tell you what, he's a coach that can be trusted. He will bring about the best game plan for these players.
I think his confidence mostly comes from preparation.
Yes,
he's prepared.
Yes,
his team's prepared, and they're prepared. They should be in good shape.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I want to add to y'all. I really appreciate Calvin and Kevin getting us out here. This is great. This is just great.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it, so I got a text today, so it's kind of worked out nice.
Absolutely.
Great atmosphere.
And got the Chamber of Commerce represented out here giving away Halloween candy and stuff. Like I say, it's just a great atmosphere.
It really is.
And it sort of puts on the spotlight what KTC does every Friday night. I was talking to them over there. Some folks are not aware of all the stuff we do. I mean, the football people that listen to it do, but a lot of people are not.
Right.
So I was trying to explain to them what we do every Friday night, how many games we try to cover, and that kind of thing.
You know what? Speaking of that, I had some family members that I was telling them about it too. And after the games, now they tune into the KTC post game, and they watch that more than they do the regular football Friday. I said, this is the football Friday.
They're going to get much more coverage of what you get 15, 30 minutes on.
Absolutely.
30 minutes, and they ran it through, and then you sit there, you blink, and you get the score.
It's over.
We got the sports person, right there. You can check in anytime. I'm always just checking in and out.
Right. Oh yeah.
Well, no, it is a good service. They're providing quickly to find out something about the
Yeah, and shout out to our Twitter guys and our cameramen, because they're running it, they're showing the plays. We're almost like ESPN up here now.
and that's important, and a lot of people don't know that. Like I was trying, they said, do y'all do broadcast on the radio? I said, yeah, but we got sideline reporters and get highlights, and we try to show that on YouTube, and that's a big deal.
Oh yeah, YouTube is almost as big as it gets now.
Well, I'm going to tell you who the most important listener is out there tonight, and that's my 95-year-old mother.
Wow.
And she said, now, what channel is this again? So I tuned it up for her. She said, that's going to stay, right? And I said, yes, ma'am. It's going to stay.
There you go.
And so I look forward to listening to you guys call a charitable win tonight.
Oh, man, that'd be beautiful.
We're going to take it back to studios for a commercial break. We'll be right back on the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show, KTC broadcast.
Can she do it? Will she do it?
You need health insurance coverage? Witherspoon Insurance Agency help with that. Witherspoon Insurance Agency offers affordable health insurance to protect you and your family. Let their experienced agents help you through the hassle of applying to the current health insurance marketplace plans. Open enrollment runs now through January 15, 2026. Call 704-480-9595 and ask for Justin or Sarah. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby, right across from First Baptist Church. Online at WitherspoonInsurance.com. No matter the temperature outside, you'll be warm and cozy inside with T&M Services of Lincoln. T&M Services specializes in all aspects of heating and cooling in residential homes and commercial properties. Just give them a call at 704-240-9920. Again, 704-240-9920 for T&M Services, 606 Center Drive in Lincoln. Visit the website at tmserviceshvac.com. And be sure to like them on Facebook, too. Keep warm in the winter, cool in the summer with T&M Services of Lincoln. Outdoor fun starts at Card Guys in Gastonia. No matter your age, hop on and ride. Card Guys in Gastonia has golf carts with brand names like Epic, Evolution, Massimo, and Terra. And they have a whole lot more, like ATVs, UTVs, side-by-sides, dirt bikes, go-karts, and more. And they have a complete repair and service center. And Cart Guys also has Liberty Buildings, including steel buildings, carports, garages, and gazebos. Cart Guys Incorporated, 109 Crowners Creek Road, off Highway 321 South Gastonia. Open 9 to 4:30 Monday through Friday, 9 to 3 Saturday. Online at carguysinc.com. Like them on Facebook, too. Fall is here, and Thanksgiving is near. Come into Holly's Flowers and let them create a beautiful centerpiece for your dinner table. They have a vast array of beautiful fall flowers and potted plants and unique gift items. So make your day or someone else's day brighter, or simply give a gift of flowers in thanks to someone special. Visit Holly's Flowers in historic Uptown Shelby and check them out. They're located at 109 East Graham Street, or give them a call at 704-487-2330. Happy Thanksgiving from Holly's Flowers.
For over 60 years, through 3 generations, Hoyle Plumbing has been the reliable source for all your plumbing needs. Whether residential or commercial, our skilled technicians can handle your every plumbing issue. Rather tackle the job yourself? Hoyle Plumbing has a parts counter well-stocked and open to the public with knowledgeable people to answer any plumbing question you may have. Reach out to us today at HoylePlumbing.com. That's H-O-Y-L-E plumbing.com. Your hometown plumber for over 60 years, Hoyle Plumbing is here for you.
Need extra storage? Check out the all-new Lock and Leave Self-Storage, located at 1855 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Rent now by calling 704-290-3939. It's easy. Just go to lock-and-leave.com or scan the code in this week's Shelby Shopper. Then find a unit and choose your size. Then just fill out your information and rent. It's that easy. The new Lock and Leave Self-Storage, 1855 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Again, for more information, call 704-290-3939. All right, 6 minutes from the 6 o'clock now. Back to Witherspoon Stadium and tonight's Witherspoon Insurance pregame show.
Sorry about that. Almost timed it right. Thompson Afani here with Brian, Ken, and Chikari here at Cherville High School. That does give you a little bit. Halloween's over. We don't need that anymore. That spooky echo there. But welcome back. We're at Cherville High School, breaking down some of the local games. And Chikari, if you want to talk a little bit about that Shelby matchup with McMichael, we were looking at some of the scores from McMichael, and I guess there's no other way to put it. We weren't real impressed, were we?
No, absolutely not. I mean, McMichael defense has given up 50 points 5 times and gave it up over 60. I mean, giving up over 46 times. So yeah. I think Shelby in his game just got to go take care of business. And me and you were speaking about over there, just most importantly, just make sure everybody's safe so you can be able to get to the next game with all your guys.
Yeah, if you're looking at McMichael, they come in with a record of 2-8. They were defeated by Reedsville 69-12, and I know you're very familiar as a Shelby guy with Reedsville. You've had a lot of battles with them over the years.
Yeah.
I just say that's a measuring stick game, and if you got clobbered by Reedsville, you probably don't want anyone of the Golden Lions tonight.
I 100% agree with you.
All right, here's another stat for you. Their last 4 games, 251-60. in their last 4 games, so they just haven't been competitive against stronger opponents. And if you want to go to the Shelby side, we know we had a back-and-forth game last week, Shelby and Burns. It was a great game. Shelby took the lead early. Burns came back. It was really the Shelby passing game against the Burns running game. Both were executed pretty beautifully last week.
100%. Burns had 268 rushing yards last week, and Shelby really couldn't stop a nosebleed on the ground. But Shelby did a really good job at battling back. I mean, late in the fourth quarter, when Shelby was driving to go down to score, Shelby got backed up by a penalty, which they had to score on like a 4th and 15, and they converted on that. But then again, bend but don't break mentality. Kickoff, and then Burns had a great return to get inside the Shelby's 10-yard line, and you really thought Burns was going to really win that game, but again, Shelby had a really bend but don't break mentality and did a good job at blocking the kick and got out of there being a conference champion, getting a share of it at least.
3 phases of the game, right, fellas? Special teams. Shelby has a special teams breakdown. Burns almost runs the kickoff back for a touchdown. Then Burns has a special team breakdown. Field goals. I'll tell you what, boys. At this level, I don't want the game to come down to the kicking game because there's just so many things that can go wrong at the high school level.
Like I say, that game just felt like the whole time it's going back and forth, and whoever's going to end up with the ball last is going to win the ball game. And Burns just kind of squandered the opportunity when they're down there inside the 5. So.
You know what, Brian, though? They should have never been in that situation. As Jakari said, we're there, 4th down and 15. 4th and 15.
You're right.
Yeah. And let me tell you about Land Farmer, your quarterback down at Shelby. I think he threw 4 incompletions last week. I think it was 24 for 28, if I remember. I don't have my stat sheet in front of me.
27 of 32.
Something like that. I knew it was like 4 or 5 incomplete passes the whole game. He probably throws the best on the run of any quarterback I've seen this year. He can move and just hit a guy in stride. I mean, it's really, at a high school level, you really have to appreciate a guy who's come that far with his accuracy, and that was the difference. If you look at that, if you want to go back and look at that one on film, he threw a dime. I mean, he threw it
right there.
Only where his guy, Burns had 2 guys in the area. There was 2 defenders in the area, and he dropped it right in the bucket.
Yeah, it was a simple corner route by J.J. Williams, the receiver, and J.J. Williams had a big game, having 10 catches for 141 yards and a touchdown, and also Emmanuel Collins had 8 catches for 106 yards. As you were speaking about Land Farmer was really efficient. 84% completion rating, 27 of 32, 3 touchdowns. To me, that's the best game he's played all year, and that's what you want to see in a veteran quarterback like him coming down to the stretch of the season, especially when you're trying to get to December. Again, like what coaches say, you remember November. What you do in November is something everyone remembers. Pretty much, if you want the fans on Facebook talking or Twitter, that's the only thing they're going to remember, not what you did in September or August. So I think this is really good, having your quarterback playing this well down the stretch.
Did I have a question about Shelby's health? Is there running back Tate? Is he still hurt?
I think so. He didn't play last week, but last week they had Jonah Woods come in, and he did really good. He had 10 carries for 73 yards, and also Land Farmer has honestly picked up his versatility in the run game, and last week he had 70 yards rushing as well on 15 carries.
And that was kind of the detriment of Shelby earlier in the year, was Farmer wasn't as crisp.
Yeah.
And, you're looking now, he's hitting his stride at the perfect time going into the playoffs.
And he's tough to bring down. I watched the Lincoln game, and they sacked him some, but there's several times they had him, and he's, 6'2", 230 or something?
Yep.
He is tough to bring down.
And I think that's where I started with that Lincoln game, because Lincoln was really taking away Shelby's passing game, and Shelby was really efficient on the run game. That Lincoln game, and you saw him, because he was usually a pocket passer, but now you saw him getting outside the pocket, avoiding the rush, getting outside the pocket, like extending drives on 3rd down, and it's really what kept Shelby in the game, which was his legs, and I think that's what they're going to need to more going into the stretch of the season in the playoffs.
And that's the reason I was asking about Tate, because he had an excellent rushing game against Lincoln, but unfortunately in the last play there, and offensive play in overtime when he got hurt, went down with the injury.
Yeah.
So he impressed me as a running back.
100%, and I think if for Shelby, you would love to have him back, but if not, you would love to see Jonah Woods try to pick up some of the slack pick up some of that efficiency that Jalen Tate had.
Just a freshman too, right?
Jonah Woods, I think so.
Yeah, so I mean, he's a young kid coming in the backfield, and if you want to talk about something else that nobody remembers things early in the season, do you remember way back when Shelby lost to Kings Mountain and Crest.
I did.
Oh, yeah.
Their two lowest point totals, 14 and 24, but those came against bigger 5A, 6A opponents.
Right.
And coming down the stretch, I mean, they were just destroying people. I mean, they scored 90 in a game this year.
I mean, I listened to a lot of those games as just self-inflicted wounds by Shelby, really turning the ball over, basically.
Correct.
And penalties itself against Burns, they had 14 penalties for 139 yards. It's like their second game having plus over 130 penalties, which honestly I feel like at times kept Burns in the game, because one time when Burns was driving down the field, they had a roughing the passer on Dixon, which extended the drive. It was third down, and Burns was going to punt the ball back to Shelby, but Burns ended up scoring before the half. And honestly, there's stuff like that. I know at times you try to pull up and not try to bring the quarterback down, but at times like that, it's like simple penalties like that and just bonehead things after the play that they have to be able to control themselves.
Yeah, you'll have to clean that up going forward. Deeper in the playoffs, those get magnified.
I mean, because at this point now it's one and done. It's no more. No next week is guaranteed.
Now you can argue that some of that was, these boys, they know each other. They're going to go back and forth a little bit before the game, and they were on a different adrenaline level that game. So hopefully both of those teams, Burns and Shelby. Burns off tonight. They did earn a bye in the 4A, but Shelby just doesn't seem like it's fair. I mean, if you look at their season, it seems like they should have earned a bye, but the 3A's loaded, man. You've got a lot of good teams in that 3A. Lincoln's in there. Walkertown's in there. So you got a lot of good teams in that 3A bracket.
East Ruffler's in there. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah.
So I, just predicting this, when I was talking about it earlier, I think Shelby's going to win the ball game. I don't think anybody at this table is going to predict McMichael to be even in this game.
No, not at all.
Not at all. But if you're Shelby, you want to make it through intact. And not only do you want to get out of it intact, you made some good points with the penalties. You want to be, I would say the goal for this game for Shelby is try to be as penalty-free as possible and try to be as clean as possible. No turnovers, no interceptions, no fumbles, no mistakes in the kicking game. Basically use this as a tune-up moving forward in the playoffs.
And I agree with what you said. It's kind of like a tune-up game, kind of like an exhibition. Again, no disrespect to McMichael, but I think Shelby is going to possibly have the running clock on about a third quarter, if not earlier. And for Shelby, this is a really good game for them to clean up their weaknesses. And I know what people can say, if you have a bye week the week before you play, like you can kind of get a little
lick your wounds
a little bit. And now Shelby has a little bit of that playoff feel with some of their young guys they have. Now they get a little bit of that feel, maybe going into East Rutherford next week. I hate to have to look ahead like that, but for Shelby, like you said, limit turnovers and most importantly, limit the penalties. If you want to get the 14 penalties down to 6 to 7 penalties, like I think I would look at it as a win for Coach Wilbank's team.
I would say, 6 to 7 penalties and no major penalties, like no unsportsmanlike, no late hit, nothing like that.
Just get through the game healthy. You just don't lose somebody to an injury, in a game like this where you're heavily favored.
So, like we said, we're not hating on McMichael. We just, I'm sorry, like nobody gives them. I just don't really think they have much of a chance tonight. So
where is McMichael even? Where is that?
Well, we were trying to figure that out, and it's what was the name of the town? McMichael High School is in, you spell it Mayodan. Mayodan? Is that how you say that?
Never heard of it.
Mayodan? North Carolina, wherever that is.
Yeah.
It's near Madison.
It's near Madison, so basically they're up there with Bigfoot. Okay, so it's way up in the sticks, boys. So they're coming down a long way, and I just hate to tell you, man, I hope that bus is comfortable on the way back, because it's not going to be pretty for McMichael tonight. If I had to predict the score, I would say Shelby would probably have over 50 points. McMichael, I'm sure they're going to bring some young guys up in this. If it gets to a running clock, and let those boys play. And, they may get an by-the-way score, but I look for Shelby to dominate tonight.
Yeah.
All right, going around Cleveland County as well. Burns off tonight. Kings Mountain, they're off tonight as well, which kind of surprises me. How do you get a bye when you got beat so bad by Crest in the week before? You know what I mean? It just didn't even make any sense. I guess because of the extra divisions, it's just where the chips fell, and also Crest has the night off. So, ironically enough, Shelby's the only one playing tonight in Cleveland County. Only Cleveland County team playing.
Who would have guessed that when the season started?
No. And next week, if we hold chalk, Hendersonville will come to Burns. It'll be a rematch of a game a few years back, a playoff game where we nearly froze to death. They were redoing their press box. It was open air and it was about 30 degrees up there, so we had to do the broadcast there. So there's a little history between those schools. They played a number of times. I think that matchup would be pretty intriguing with the Bearcats coming to Lawndale next week if they prevail and defeat East Davidson tonight.
All right.
So that's your Cleveland County roundup. Hopefully we'll get a few more previews coming up. Just want to make sure we remind our listeners that Pete's Fish Box is sponsoring our broadcast tonight. We appreciate that. I hear there's some catfish and other stuff waiting on us when we get back to the studio, so we appreciate Pete's Fish Box and their sponsorship of the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. Okay, so that's Shelby, Burns, Crest, Kings Mountain. Do you want to go to Lincoln County next, guys?
Well, let's
take a break.
I'm going to quickly. We're going to take a break?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let's go ahead and quickly cover the games that we're covering tonight. So McMichael at Shelby's going to be on WOHS on the radio. South Stokes at Cherryville, it's WCSL here on the Cherryville station. North Wilkes at West Lincoln, that's on YouTube audio. It's at the Lincoln County channel, right? Isn't that what
yes,
it's called?
Yes.
And then the RS Central and Wilkes Central game is on YouTube video and on Waggy over in Forest City. So those are the four games that we have radio and video, or actually audio coverage of tonight. All right, we're going to send it back to the studio, take a commercial break. We'll be right back with the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show on KTC Broadcast.
Witherspoon Insurance Agency offers affordable health insurance to protect you and your family. Let their experienced agents help you through the hassle of applying to the current health insurance marketplace plans. Open enrollment runs now through January 15th, 2026. Call 704-480-9595 and ask for Justin or Sarah. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby, right across from First Baptist Church. Online at WitherspoonInsurance.com. God bless our veterans. This from everyone at West End Sales in Vail. We owe you a debt of gratitude, but more than that, we owe you for our freedom. We thank you for what you were called to do so we can safely do what we're free to do. Our veterans deserve our respect for the security of our future. This veteran salute is from everyone at West End Sales at the Highway 18 North, Highway 274 West intersection in Vail. Online at westendsales.com.
To every veteran, past and present, everyone at Golden Solutions in Shelby takes this time to say thank you for your bravery, courage, and sacrifice. We extend our deepest gratitude to all those who have worn our country's uniforms. Your service will never be forgotten. We thank you for your service. This Veteran Salute brought to you by Golden Solutions at 231 East Marion Street, Shelby. Call 704-477-1426. Online at GoldenSolutionsInsurance.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
Bob Dylan once said, "A hero is someone who understands the responsibility that comes with freedom." And everyone at Oliver's Hardware in Shelby takes this time to salute our veterans, men and women, past and present. From time to time, the tree of liberty must be watered with the blood of tyrants and patriots. The willingness of America's veterans to sacrifice for our country has earned them our lasting gratitude. This salute is from everyone at Oliver's Hardware, 3712 Falston Road, Highway 18 North in Shelby. Online at olivershardware.com and like them on Facebook too.
Our flag does not fly because the wind moves it. It flies with the last breath of each soldier who died for protecting it. Butler's Tire and Automotive in Kings Mountain salutes all our veterans. We're home of the free because of the brave. To all who have put their lives on the line in defense of that flag, we thank you. This veteran salute is from everyone at Butler's Tire and Automotive, 401 East King Street in Kings Mountain.
LVP Flooring. Price as low as $229 a square foot. You heard right. beautiful LVP flooring as low as $229 a square foot. We're at, well, it's only one place, Barrett's Floor Covering in Kings Mountain. They are locally and family owned and operated. And you'll find it all, from waterproof floors to luxury vinyl to carpet and hardwood. That's right, Barrett's Floor Covering, 150 Dixon School Road in Kings Mountain. Online at barrettsfloorcovering.com. 2 minutes after 6 o'clock, 63 degrees. Now back to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show from Witherspoon Stadium in Cherryville.
All right, we're back on the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show, and you know what? As soon as I said Kings Mountain was off tonight, bing, 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 bing on my phone, I missed it. There's so many games tonight. We're looking at all because we have the expanded brand. We got so many more teams in the playoffs. Yes, Kings Mountain hosts Ben L. Smith. Sorry about that, guys. So, no, they did not have a bye. I did mention that last week, just to say, just didn't go their way. And they're kind of backing into the playoffs. They have had a good bit of offense this year. They're averaging close to 300 yards a game. Pretty balanced, 167 through the air, 127 on the ground. But I'm concerned about some of Kings Mountain's results down the stretch. A 43-7 loss to Ashbrook, a 35-0 loss to South Point. They did defeat Hunter Huss, but then a 70-0 loss to Crest. Just not sure what happened to the Mountie defense going down the stretch, and they've got to get it corrected against Ben L. Smith. The Golden Eagles come visit tonight.
And those not small losses. They're huge losses right there. So I think for Kings Mountain, they need to get back on track. Ben L. Smith is a 2-7 ball team. As I looked at the stats, they're primarily a run team with 613 passing yards and over 1,100 rushing yards, and I think for Kings Mountain right now, they have to do a great job at trying to get their defense back on track and stopping the run and get on to the next round.
Yeah, you're not talking about a big offensive juggernaut in Ben L. Smith. They're only averaging about 200 yards a game total, with 132 of that being the rushing attack.
Yeah, they've had some low point performances there. Even in a win, they've got 15 points in a win, 6 points in a loss, 8 points in a loss. I think you guys are on to it that they're not scoring a lot of points, which is probably good news for Kings Mountain. But, they get a chance maybe against a weaker opponent here. The last week opponent that Kings Mountain played is they did have a big win against North Gaston. They did beat them, I believe, 65-0, and it just kind of went downhill. They had two big wins, 49-0 over Forest View, and then 65-0 over North Gaston. And then just kind of the wheels came off the wagon, saved that Hunter Huss game. So maybe a chance against the Ben L. Smith that's not going to score a lot of points to maybe shore some things up and get some things straight moving forward in the playoffs, because I've seen them play. I know they're a good football team.
Yeah,
it just kind of shocked me, especially the South Point game. When I heard that score, I'm like, I thought that would be a competitive game, and I thought it would be more competitive against Ashbrook as well. And there's no way I thought, especially after that emotional loss that Crest had against Ashbrook, where they were on the goal line and just couldn't punch it in. I didn't really think that Crest would be able to put it on them like that. But I tell you what, Crest played angry.
You don't normally see Kings Mountain teams, have that level of up and down.
No.
So I'm shocked, really, that they've played the way they have this year after their success.
Started out so well with big wins over Shelby and stuff like that. But this is their get-right game. They need to turn it around, see if they can get some more momentum going into the next game. And I think they will tonight, but they need to have a good showing.
And I don't want to harp on last week, but them getting beat 70-0 against county folk.
That's
unacceptable. And I just think no one was in the county expecting that. Like when we was at the Shelby game, and every time that the PA announcer was just saying the score, and it kept getting 50-0 at halftime, it was just like, wow. And then 70-0, and you hear a lot of oohs and ahs, and it's just like, man, like. But I think for this game for Kings Mountain, they kind of get a tune-up game going into the next round, playing a home game. I think this can be a big old matchup to get their confidence level back at it, like as it should be.
And then you said you didn't like the buys. I'm telling you what, if I'm Kings Mountain, I'm glad I don't have a buy.
Yeah.
How'd you like to get beat 70-0 and have 2 weeks to think about it? Yeah. So they get to get back on the football field tonight. Sorry, I lost that one in the corner of my sheet. I appreciate all the people who texted in and told me I didn't need to read my sheet again, including the boss man, Calvin. So Kings Mountain and Ben L. Smith over there at John Gamble Stadium tonight. So that wraps up Cleveland County. And did you guys want to move on to
the two other games that we're covering with audio? Is the West Lincoln Lincoln County game, which is West Lincoln versus, who are they playing? North Wilkes,
and did a little bit of research on that. West Lincoln, if you've seen them play, and I know the Lincoln County guys, Ken, I know you've seen them. They like to run the football with Ponder, and Carpenter has come on as the season's gone on. I know that young man because he was my driver's ed student, so he's really come on. And North Wilkes, it gives up a pile of points. 5 times they've given up 40 or more in a game. Their offense is averaging about 268 a game. West Lincoln is averaging over 300, but heavily do they rely on the ground game. Gray Ponder, is going to be the centerpiece, of course, as he usually is, but only 38 passing yards. Make sure I get the young man's name right. Is it Stratford? Is there other?
Yeah, Stratford.
Yeah, Stratford has got a ton of yards this year, so West Lincoln can hit you with those 3 guys running the football. And I really think they're going to run all over North Wilkes tonight. I think it's going to be a big win for the Rebels.
Yeah, they're not going to throw the ball. They're going to run the ball. North Wilkes has lost 4 out of the last 5 ball games, and they're from the Mountain Valley 2A, 3A, 4A. I don't think they've played the kind of opposition that West Lincoln played. I think West Lincoln will be able to run up a few good many points with that ground game.
Yeah, West Lincoln's had no problem putting up points this year. It's been more of, can they stop anybody? Yeah. And running the football seems to control that and not allow that other team to score. You look at Gray Ponder too. He's a two-way guy. We don't talk about defense much, but he's got 58 tackles, 4 tackles for a loss, and 2 forced fumbles at the linebacker position.
Almost like he's a coach's son.
Yeah. You don't normally see your quarterback playing linebacker on the other side. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, I look for West Lincoln to in what could be a close ball game, but I look for West Lincoln probably to be the favorite by 10 points in this game.
I'd say, you know what, that's being generous, man. You must have some relatives up in Wilkes County. I think it's going to be a big West Lincoln win. I think it's at least by 3 touchdowns tonight. They have to come down to West Lincoln. They're going to have their cannon ready to go. And I think West Lincoln's in for a big win tonight, man.
I mean, for West Lincoln's schedule, look who the teams they have to play. Shelby, you get beat 49-14. Burns, 47-19. Lincolnton, 42-6. Well, then Stuart Kramer, 21-0. And it seems like they play better competition, which kind of going to suit them into the playoffs and try to go down and try to get like a good stretch of games. But I think I'm expecting West Lincoln, I'm going to say 2 scores to at least win the game because they're a triple option team. They want to control the clock, and they have to do a really good job at taking care of the football and trying to get into the next round.
And the next round opponent would be number 1 seed, Mount Heritage. If they would win tonight.
All right, so we're going to pivot over to the Rutherford County game that we're covering on audio with RS Central visiting the Wilkes Central Eagles.
All right, so that's RS Central comes in at a record of 5-5, pretty balanced attack. They're 236 on the ground, but they do average over 128 yards passing, so they like that run game a little bit better, but it's not like they can't pass the football. I looked at a couple of measuring stick games for them. High Brighton, they were defeated 45-26 against East Rutherford. And Philip Russ, appreciate you listening in tonight. And he's got a different location on McMichael, so we're going to have to check that one more time. But
maybe
to figure out where it is. But Philip thinks it's in the east. But East Rutherford defeated RS Central 38-14. So their games. They against their tough opponents, they've hung with them.
They played well against them, even though they didn't beat them. They certainly and they started out slow, and they got hot. And like you say, the 2 teams that beat them were good teams, High Brighton and East Rutherford.
Yes, those teams I expect to make some playoff runs. And poor Wilkes Central, their last 3 games. You ready for this?
Yeah.
They have been defeated 146-6. Do I even need to say they're 0-3 in those games? You want to talk about somebody who's backing into the playoffs? It's Wilkes Central. So,
we look at the RPIs determine this stuff, and you wonder how this happened. Will Central's got a better RPI, obviously.
How?
Because they got a home game.
Yeah,
I don't see how they could.
But I think
they're averaging 25 points a game and they're giving up 35.
Yeah.
And you look at RS and they're dead even at 25.
I think RS wins this one easy by 2 or 3 touchdowns.
I agree with that. I don't really understand the RPI situation in high school football. I know that's like a controversial topic amongst people, but I expect RS Central to roll in this game. I mean, you took a loss to East Rutherford, and East Rutherford is a pretty good ball team, but for Wilkes Central, they can't really score, can't really stop a nosebleed. It's just all around not really great football. And for RS Central, again, you could go in there, another exhibition game. That's kind of what these first round matchups are for these big teams with high seeds, is just trying to get an exhibition game and try to get your team flowing for the next round.
Yeah, RS Central, big wins over Drone. They scored 48 against Drone, 42 against Chase, 56 against Patton, 36 against West Caldwell. So they could score some points, and I expect them to score a bunch against a team that gave up 146 in their last 3 games. If you want to know what those were, like I said, as the map gets wider, it's a little harder to keep up with all the teams. But against Allegheny, they gave up 42. Against Star Mountain, who's pretty good every single year. I think that's where Greg Lloyd coached a couple of years up there. Yeah. 51 points, and East Wilkes, 53 points.
While scoring 0 in both.
While scoring, exactly. They have been shut out. They have not scored a point, Brian, since October 17th. So I just think that RS Central is going to roll tonight over Wilkes Central. I think you guys are right. Definitely a tune-up game tonight for RS Central. Does that cover all broadcast?
That covers the broadcast games, yes.
Okay, so that's for the games from around the area. We hit West Lincoln. We can talk about Fred T. Ford, their first playoff game in a while. They're playing tonight against Lake Norman Charter. North Lincoln, playoff game tonight against Oak Grove. And then Irwin, that's Chip Carter's Irwin team, is going to visit Hunter Huss all the way down to Gastonia tonight. So we can talk about those when we come back. You guys ready for a break?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back and talk about some more games in our area. You're listening to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show.
Do you need health insurance coverage? Witherspoon Insurance Agency offers affordable health insurance to protect you and your family. Let their experienced agents help you through the hassle of applying to the current health insurance marketplace plans. Open enrollment runs now through January 15, 2026. Call 704-480-9595 and ask for Justin or Sarah. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby, right across from First Baptist Church. Online at WitherspoonInsurance.com. I'm Calvin Hastings, and I want to invite you to join me along with Jeffrey the Piolans as we broadcast live this Saturday, November 8th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. during the Big Fall Sale at Oakwood Homes in Shelby. We'll be there with free hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks. Plus, see Large Marge, the Pink Cadillac, the Green Machine, and the Patriotic Floppy Man. Register to win some great prizes, including tickets to the Southern Christmas Show, free meals, free rounds of golf, free movies, free T-shirts, and more. And check out the great deals at Oakwood Homes. The red tag sale is still underway. Prices have been slashed. And also ask about 2 ready to move into homes, one on Ashland Court in Shelby and another on Dukeport in Iron Station. Save thousands of dollars on your new dream home. So come see us this Saturday, November 8th, 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. during the Big Fall Sale at Oakwood Homes, 1839 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at oakwoodhomesofshelby.com. Y'all come. It'll be fun.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
Listen up. Medicare Open Enrollment and Golden Solutions want to help. They have all the answers and are right here in Shelby. Call Claudia Vaughn today at 704-477-1426 for Medicare. People new to Medicare or who are renewing their Medicare, it runs now through December 7th. Open enrollment for North Carolina state employees runs through October 31st. And under 65 enrollment runs November 1st through January 15th. Golden Solutions is your local expert when it comes to your Medicare and health care. They represent all the major insurance carriers and are the experts when it comes to customizing a plan for you. Call Claudia Vaughn today, 704-477-1426. Smiles are the specialty at Family Dental Care in Shelby. Doctors Jim Wilson, Paul McMurray, and Chase Price invite you to see them and their staff of well-trained professionals, all working together as a winning team to provide you with the highest quality treatment in a warm, caring setting. For your appointment, call 704-482-3281. Family Dental Care, 416 West Warren Street in Shelby. Online at shelbydentist.net. Family Dental Care, remember, smiles is their specialty, and kids love them too. Our debt to the heroic men and valiant women in the service of our country can never be repaid. They have earned our undying gratitude. America will never forget their sacrifices. Today, AccuTrol Income Tax Service, along with Next and Canvas in Gastonia, salutes in memory Kenny Irvin, who served in the 82nd Airborne, along with Sergeant Blair McCarley of the U.S. Marine Corps. And today we honor Kerry McCarley and Walter Grant of the U.S. Navy. We salute each of you today. This veteran salute was brought to you by AccuTrol Income Tax Service and Next and Canvas, both located at 428 West Main Avenue in Gastonia.
You've heard this from me before, and here I am again, still camping in my country camping corner camper, and Mama even comes along sometimes, too. I think that's why she lived this long, bless her heart. The big boys call them big deals. Well, good for them. At Country Camping Corner, they don't stack them deep and sell them cheap, but they do offer great discounts, and especially right now, going into the cool fall camping weather, they back it all up with great service and whatever parts or repair that you might need. And now for my jingle. If you're looking for the deal that's right for you, then this is the place to head right to. Now, Mama, I told you I was going to sing a jingle, and you done messed me up. Fifth Wheels Pool Campers, pop-ups, new and used, the nicest people in the business, even Veronica, or Verena, however she said.
Go to Kings Mountain on Highway 74 and take the Oak Grove Road exit. And look at them at countrycamping.com. Call 704-734-0595.
628, back to the Witherspoon pregame show at Witherspoon Stadium.
Welcome back to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. Guys, we got some sound of the game, don't we, here? That's the Cherokee High School Marching Band. Sounded pretty good tonight, fellas.
Sure do.
So they're going to serenade the football team. Cheerleaders out here, got games, got food trucks. Come on out to the game. Brian, I did Google Maps it. Philip Russ was right. It is about 2 hours and 30 minutes. McMichael is near the Virginia border, west of Mount Airy, north of Greensboro.
That's right. Yes. North of Oak Grove is where I had it.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's way up there.
It's up.
Yeah.
It's still Bigfoot country.
It is. It's still, so the Bigfoot reference works. And Ken, you're the Lincoln County guy, so we're going to go to that Lake Norman Charter Knights. No, wait a minute, excuse me, the North Lincoln game. North Lincoln playing Oak Grove. So we're going to talk a little bit about that game. And what's your insights on North Lincoln's chance tonight?
Well, North Lincoln only won 2 games this year. A great down season for North Lincoln. Got a new coaching staff there. They were 2-8, and they really, as the season went along, they really struggled. In fact, the last game of the season against Fred T. Ford, I thought they would win, and they lost that game 27-7. They have a tough opponent tonight going against Oak Grove. They're 7-3 on the season and have been coming on strong. In fact, I heard somebody say, well, look out for them. They could make a lot of noise and go deep in the playoffs. So I don't think North Lincoln will be able to do it tonight. They have a fine running back in Landon Agee that has a lot of yards rushing, but their defense has struggled all year, and they won't be able to do enough tonight.
And you know what? If your defense has been struggling, you're facing the wrong opponent. Oak Grove averaging almost 400 yards a game, Ken.
Yeah.
They have scored 40 points 7 times this year, and their defense has registered 3 shutouts. So you're right on the money, and this is a tough opponent. And on the other side, you talked about the North Lincoln defense, not their best year. They've given up 40 points 6 times this year. As you probably know, they do rely heavily on the ground game. I think the only way they have a chance to stay in this thing is run the ball and keep the ball away from them.
Yeah, you're looking at Oak Grove quarterback Grayson Treadway has posted 3 or more passing touchdown in his last 5 games. with their top receiver, Jaquan Clay, recorded 208 yards and 3 TDs in the most recent wins.
Yeah, the North Lincoln Knights defense, I don't think will be able to stop some of that.
No, they're not.
I got Oak Grove rolling in this one. I mean, like you said, Ken, that is just a really down year for North Lincoln, coming off last season with 12 wins and a year before that with 8, and it's just like new coaching staff, you're trying to reestablish your culture. It's really not that good of a year, but I'm expecting Oak Grove to roll big in this one.
Yeah, they're coming down from the North Lincoln's going up to Winston-Salem for that one tonight. If you want to look at some of the results for Oak Grove this year, they have been pretty dominant in a lot of their wins. You know, going down the stretch, here's the scores of their last 5 games: 49-12, 49-0, 52-42 shootout with Mount Tabor, 40-19, 46-9. And you're right on the money, Ken. This is not the team you want to play if you're having a hard time on defense.
So you got 2 teams going in completely different directions. One's really got better the season went on, the other one's faded.
And I'm with the Oak Grove crowd tonight. I'm sorry, North Lincoln. I don't think it's going to go your way tonight, but I think Oak Grove big should be a running clock in that game. Okay, so Kevin also wants us to talk about, we can go back to Gaston County and do Irwin versus Hunter House. I know Chip's probably here somewhere, but there's Chip. He's right behind us. Yeah, so Irwin coming to town to play the Hunter House Huskies. And I did find one common opponent.
Yep.
Irwin lost to TCR. TC Robinson 42-22. Hunter Huss lost to TCR 12-10. Advantage Hunter Huss.
Yeah, I would it's hard to deny that. That was the opening game of the year for Hunter Huss. They went up to TC Robertson and played them very tough, only losing by 2 there. Irwin's had some, and it's definitely been a down year for them. They had some high expectations that going into the year. The West Henderson game was a bit of a surprise to open up losing to them. That was a 1-score game. Mountain Heritage was not that much of a surprise. Brevard, obviously, they were undefeated in the regular season. Got their first win in overtime against Hendersonville. Watauga's played tough. AC Reynolds historically is tough. They only lost to them by 4. Beat Inca. They lost to Asheville by 1 score. Robertson's is pretty telling for Irwin, and they won North Buncombe. They've lost to teams, with the exception of West Henderson. I think Irwin's lost to the teams that have really showed out this regular season. So their record basically shows that. Huss has played some decent opponents this year as well. Obviously, you look at the South Point games, nothing for them to going into South Point, obviously, losing 53-6 to them is no big deal. But you got beating Bessemer City, beating Anson, beating North Gaston, Forest View, obviously losing to Crest, and losing to Kings Mountain and Ashbrook to close out the year. Those are 3 tough opponents to wrap up the regular season. I think it's going to be a pretty even game.
Yeah, I think those 2. What I'm seeing is, Hunter Huss up and down. Again, kind of some of the things we're talking about the Kings Mountain. You hang tough with a good opponent and turn around and get drugged by the next good opponent. So, but I see Irwin kind of battle tested, hanging in games. That game could be go down to the wire.
Well, Tom brings up the difference or the common variable in this. If Hunter Huss plays like they played against Robertson that week 1, I don't know if Irwin's going to have much of a chance. But if they look or play like they played them maybe these last 3 weeks, again, these are tough opponents, 2 or 3 of the toughest opponents in the area. But if they play against that, and if Irwin's hopefully rounding into better form, a good win against North Buncombe last week, I think this could be a big game. I'm going to be a homer and say my boys are going to come down the mountain and try to surprise them. But I guess I'm contractually obligated to say that on air.
Well, let's look down the stretch for Hunter Huss. You want to talk about backing the bus in?
Yeah.
62-7 loss to Crest, 31-14 loss to a Kings Mountain team that was giving up a ton of points, right? And then played Ashbrook pretty tough, lost 16-0. But they're really backing into this thing, guys. They haven't won a football game in a month.
Yeah.
Forest View, you're right, and only by 3 points. And then South Point beat them 53-6.
Well, I'm saying this is not telling the whole tale. This game could.
I think the wins, Hunter Huss's wins. Yes, they've got a 5-5 record versus Irwin's 3-7 record. But I'll be honest, those five wins are not as impressive to me. Now, again, to be fair to Huss, Irwin's victories are against Inca and North Buncombe. So those and going up in the mountains, those are not two of your historical powerhouses. So again, I think it's going to be an interesting game. And it's we'll see what happens. Hunter Huss very easily could defend their home turf, so we'll see what comes down.
I mean, it ended up being lopsided, but I think they hung in there against Brevard for a little while. Brevard's a very good football team. Brevard beat them 37-14. I have a hard time with this one. If I had to go with my gut on this one, I would say Hunter Huss at home should win this game. But I think it's a pretty even matchup. I think it's one I'd stay away from on the parlay card.
That's right. It's just a lean for me to Hunter Huss. Just a lean at most.
I'd say Huss by a touchdown. That's my prediction.
Home field advantage. It's a long ride from Irwin to Gastonia.
It is.
So it's going to be a long ride.
Yep.
Okay, so what else we got?
I think we got Chase on the board.
Chase is playing at Thomasville. We need to talk about that.
Oh yeah. So pull that up. Take a look.
All right, so Chase, you finally found one I didn't have the most notes on. There's so many games today. It's just hard to keep up.
Did we ever find out who's Shelby playing? Do we ever find out where they're located?
Yeah, finally.
Mayodan, right? Is it Mayodan?
It's Mayodan. It's north of.
It's north of the triangle.
North of Walnut Grove, south of Eden.
It's like north of Greensburg.
We didn't know where it was. Philip Russ knew where it was. Okay, so let's quote our source.
Wait a minute. I Googled it and I had it there. I knew where it was.
Brian had it in the right territory.
Okay, in the right territory. Okay, maybe Bigfoot territory.
That's Nobby territory, right?
That's Nobby territory, definitely.
So both Thomasville and Chase have 5-5 records. Recent wins for Thomasville is a 28-16 win over East Davidson. They won 44-0 over Trinity. Wheatmore 37-19, and then they had losses to Providence Grove 31-9 and West Davidson 20-27.
This is just hard to compare these.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't have anything to go against for these for like opponents or anything.
Yeah.
Chase has been kind of up down. They gave up a home loss to East Burke and Cogdell's coming home party. I just don't have a good feeling about Chase. They never have shown any consistency for me this year. I just don't see a whole lot coming from them. Like East Rutherford run them out of the building. High Brighton put up 62 on them.
Yeah.
And they give up 40 to East Burke.
Yeah, it just kind of tells you that conference too, Brian, is just so hard to gauge. I mean, you're playing the same conference opponents. You get beat 57-7 by East Rutherford, and you turn around and beat Drone 62-0.
Yeah,
you beat Patton 56-0.
It's been kind of feast or famine for them. It seems like.
So I think it's like when they play bad teams, they run up the score. When they play good teams, they get clobbered. Yeah. So
I just see Thomasville being the more consistent team. Just looking at this.
I think this is a toss-up game. I went with Chase because obviously they play some tough opponents, and I know they lost big to a couple of them. But I'm going to go with Chase by 1 point in this one.
might be a lot of points scored in this game. Down the stretch, yes, Thomasville was a little bit more consistent. They went 2-2 down the stretch, but it's just hard to gauge, man. It's just so many teams in high school football trying to figure out what this win means and what that means. When you see a team give up 57 and score 62, you're like, man, who are they playing?
Exactly.
So it's just hard to figure out. But is this game being played at Chase, guys?
I believe it's at Chase.
Okay, so at Chase, let's give them a slight edge and say that Chase gets a win tonight.
It's at Thomasville.
No, it's at Thomasville.
Yeah.
Okay.
I misread it. I'm sorry. That's my fault.
We're never wrong on this show, so it's at it's at Thomasville. All right, I got to change my pick now.
Yeah.
They got to ride the bus. I want to say Thomasville in the close game. I think the home team's going to hold serve. And I guess one game I'd like to talk about is my friend Chris Cogdell over there at East Burke.
Yeah.
They've got Tuscola tonight. East Burke started out 0-3. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I was saying a prayer for my friend Chris up there. I know being a football coach is hard enough, and you're the new man, and you start out 0-3. You know, they're already calling for your head. You know, so I mean, Brian, you've coached a long time, and you know you've been up at that school too.
I have.
You know, you know that their people want results, and but his measuring stick games, High Brighton 37-8. I mean, not a total disaster, but got beat pretty bad there. RS Central pretty competitive, 27-14. East Rutherford, they scored some points, only they gave up 53. They lost 53-24. So they've had a harder time against the stronger opponents. They did give up 61 in Freedom. But down the stretch, I think they played a little bit better against, you know, when it's always good when you've got Patton in your conference. I mean, and they took care of them, and I believe they took care of Drone, you know, some of those teams that they should beat. But, you know, you're supposed to beat those teams going down the stretch. And he managed to, was a 5-5 record on the year for East Burke?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, a 5-5 record, so he got him to 500, and he got him into playoffs. And if you look down the stretch, yeah, wins over, and I think his signature win this year is Chase. Yeah. You know, he went into their building and beat them, and that had to be satisfying for him, and that's probably, you know, the win that arguably got him into the playoffs. So pulling for Coach Cogdill tonight. I think that he gets a win tonight. I'm trying to see where that gets. They do have to go to Tuscola, though. They do have to make the trip, don't they?
Tuscola's not had an impressive year this year. The last win they got against East Henderson was 0-10. Real quick, Brian and Ken, real quick, want to get your picks on this game too?
Yeah, again, like I say, East Burke has kind of built themselves all year. I know Coach Cogdill's put in a lot of work. Basically, you know, I think I'll probably lean toward the home team again by a 3-point favorite. I would have to.
Yeah, I'm going to be a homer, and I'm going with my buddy Cogdill to get a win, get an upset win on the road, and keep it going at East Burke this year.
All right, guys. We'll appreciate the game breakdown there. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show here on KTC Broadcasting.
And Shelby Kia, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
The next hour of music is being brought to you by TAC, the Transportation Administration of Cleveland County. Ride free by calling 704-482-6465. Again, ride free by calling 704-482-6465. For TAC, the Transportation Administration of Cleveland County. Bringing you this hour of true oldies on The Boss.
Cakes and cookies, toys and gifts. It's the shopping event of the season, the Southern Christmas Show, November 14th through 24th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Celebrate the 12 days of Christmas, a countdown of Yuletide cheer brimming with festive decor and seasonal magic. Buy tickets at southernChristmasShow.com. Online tickets courtesy of Craft Body Scan. Let's go to the Southern Christmas Show.
Today, we celebrate the service and bravery of our veterans. Everyone at Tri-City Tire in Forest City wants to take this time to thank you for your sacrifices. It's time to honor our heroes. We'll never forget the bravery, honor, and courage. You'll always be someone we look up to. Thank you for your selflessness and dedication to our country. This veteran salute is from everyone at Tri-City Tire, 221 Daniel Road in Forest City. Like them on Facebook, too.
gratitude, everyone at Bayada Home Healthcare in Shelby takes this time to salute our veterans. You have been safeguarding Americans' freedom at home and abroad. Thank you for aiming high and always ready to fight and win freedom worldwide. Thank you for your service to our nation. This veteran salute is brought to you by Bayada Home Healthcare, 1243 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at bayada.com, providing personal care and non-medical assistance for adults and seniors.
15 in front of 7 o'clock now. Back out to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show at Witherspoon Stadium.
All right, gentlemen, welcome back to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show here on KTC Broadcasting. Chip Card along with Tom Centofanti, Ken Link, and Brian Branch. We just had a random gentleman call us, well, not random gentleman, we had a gentleman call
Wise News Network.
Call us professional sports, man. I don't even know if our own bosses would call us professional.
I think they would, just being nice. You know how how your friends are nice, they'll compliment you. Was that all right, guys? Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Good job. Way to not embarrass the family. So, well, guys, I know we're wrapping up, getting ready for pregame. So, with the games we got broadcast, Tom, any thoughts or final thoughts you got?
Well, before we get to that, we haven't talked about Fred T. Ford.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah.
Right, we haven't talked about Fred T. Ford. I can't remember. This is the first playoff game in a lot of years. I can't remember when the last, what's that? 17 years ago. So, in other words, these seniors playing, they were in the hospital being born the last time Fred T. Ford was in the playoffs. So, way to go, Fred T. Ford Tigers. In some of their measuring stick games, though, they haven't done that well. Hickory, 50-0. Maiden, 47-0. East Lincoln, 42-7. Hopefully they can right the ship. They got to step up to the plate in the next round. But if you look at Lincoln Charter, they did pretty well moving down the stretch against
Lake Norman Charter.
Lake Norman Charter. Let me get that right. Lake Norman Charter. They defeated Langtree Charter 56-19. But what can you learn from that game, right, Brian? I mean, it's just hard. It's just hard to say, well, how much does that win mean?
Right.
I think Fred T. Ford has the advantage here tonight.
Well, Fred T. Ford has played in one of the toughest conferences around, I think, and so they're very battle tested. They're 4-6 on the season, but I see Ford winning this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a hard time for me to get on board with Ford because, always a good baseball school. Football, they've always struggled. So it's hard for me to pick them, and I have not picked them much this year. But they have messed around and, got themselves a home game in the playoffs, not only just a playoff game, but a home game. And I think that fact that they're home is probably pretty big against the opponent that is, again, hard to read, when they're playing the charter schools. Just tough.
Yeah, it is. Some of them, players come, players go out of those schools. I mean, it's just hard to gauge. And you know what, Ken? Excellent point. Tough schedule. Hickory, Maiden, Bandy's,
Lincoln,
East Lincoln,
Newton
Conover.
You got a tough conference.
You got to run the gauntlet of that conference. I mean, you got to take care of business when you got to take care of business. And North Lincoln was down a little bit this year. Took care of them. East Burke, they defeated East Burke 26-18.
Good win.
I'll be honest, guys.
Mountain Island Charter 14-0.
That's the game. Thank you, Tom. That's the game I was looking at. The opening game for Fred T. Ford this year was at Mountain Island Charter. They defeated them 14-0. I think that's going to be your final score for Ford this evening against Lake Norman Charter.
And again, they don't get blown out a lot.
Yeah.
If you look, New Collar only put 35 up on them. East Lincoln only put 30. Bandage 20. Good ball teams.
Yes.
Good ball teams have been putting up more than that on other schools.
Oh, yeah.
So I look for Ford to be in a low-scoring affair, but Ford to win this ball game.
Yep.
So congratulations to Fred T. Ford, your first, and they're at home, right? They're at home.
They're
tonight.
at home
tonight.
Awesome.
I thought I heard Chip say that they're at home tonight. So congratulations.
So
Fred T. Ford Tigers.
Definitely want, and speaking of giving shout-outs, and appreciate, Tom, you thinking about it forward, and again, congratulations to them being back in the playoffs as some of their kids were in the NICU when the last time they were they were in the playoffs. That's awesome to have them here. But want to give a shout-out to our official food sponsor of the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show, Pete's Fish Box. Going to have some good food for us, I know, back at the station. Looking forward to that.
You know what? You know what? I miss out on that. I don't get to eat the fish. I hear you guys talk about it. Usually I can hear the very end because I'm trying to get my things set up. So sometimes I get to listen to you, sometimes I don't. But when I hear you guys eating fish box.
Here's chewing.
And you guys are eating fish box, and I'm at Stuart Kramer out in the elements with not even a bottle of water. It just doesn't see. Yeah, I know.
That's one of the
That's very appropriate, kid. Very appropriate.
That's one of the things that upset me. Not when I knew you were coming. So I'm about to share some of the fish.
You're gonna have to share some of the fish with me.
Which is tough.
With me, I tell you what, I've been getting on Branch's nerves all year. I made his wife come up and help me with driver's ed. Now he's had to help me with the Witherspoon insurance. Wherever there's a Centophony, there's a Branch with a tired back from carrying me around. But
it's usually just ignoring me from when I'm yelling from the dugout.
That's hard to ignore, Brian. It's hard to ignore.
I thought we were going to send Tom to Stuart Kramer tonight just for the heck of it.
I was going to go. I was wanting to be the sideline reporter.
They were so hospitable to Tom when he was up there.
But I think they did. Actually, Stuart got a bye, didn't they?
I believe that.
They did actually get a bye tonight.
I mean, obviously, no disrespect to that team and those young men. They've had a great season. Looks like a good bit of a resurgence.
No hard feelings towards any of their players. Congratulations to them. They've had a good year. They haven't had a lot of success in recent years, but their biggest win of the year, Ken, Lincoln and Wolves.
Oh yeah, sure was.
And I think we need to touch on one more local game, and that is South Rowan Red Raiders traveling down to Bandy's.
Yeah.
So let's touch on that one right quick and get our thoughts on that one. That'll be probably our last one that we'll cover in detail.
Bandy's has been a scary team to take on this year. I tell you what.
Yes.
Trying to pull up their schedule.
And they did everything in the world but beat Hickory last week.
Exactly.
Double overtime.
You don't have to look very far from last week to see it, and
that's impressive.
They led Hickory late in that game too. So they've got won the week before at West Iredale, fought Maiden tough, lost to Maiden 41-34. Took care of business at North Lincoln, beat 4.
Close loss to Kings Mountain.
Close loss to Newton Conover.
My goodness.
Now East Lincoln's offense did what they've done most of the year. They beat them pretty soundly, but still they put 34 points up on East Lincoln. So 56-34. So I mean, they similar to some of the other teams we've talked about. Their resume is pretty impressive.
And you got South Rowan coming in with a 3-7 record, and they have on a 7-game losing streak.
Yeah, so I think Bandy's wins this one.
It's a pretty lopsided.
I mean, how do you tell that? Boys, we lost 7 straight. Saddle up. We're in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the only thing I don't like about the watering it down and making it really watered down this year.
Oh, that's one of many reasons I don't like it watered down.
I mean, it's
and what's interesting is we got a lot of local teams not playing tonight because so many of them got buys.
Which you wouldn't expect. But you guys made some good points with their measuring stick games. The Hickory was, the Newton Conover game was only a 1-point loss. So you've had a lot of chances to prove yourself, and they did shut out Ford, a much improved Ford team this year. So I think Bandy's has got a good chance to get a win tonight.
The 3 wins that South Rowan has, they started the year out 3-0, as you were mentioning, Brian. Their 7 losses are the last 7 games they played. Union Academy, Lane Tree Prep, and Trinity. So that's not exactly those aren't exactly barn burner opponents. That no disrespect, but again, that's not exactly Hickory or Crest that you're going up against. So. I agree with you. I think Bandy's going to take care of business, and they'll move on to next week.
Yep.
So you want to go over our coverage area again tonight, the games you can listen to and follow along on our network, our collection of stations. Go ahead.
Yeah, McMichael, who we finally figured out where they're coming from, is traveling down to Shelby and will be covered on WHS 101.5 FM. South Stokes and Cherryville will be on WCSL here in Cherryville. WCSL 50, is that 1390 and 92.9? 92.9 FM. North Wilkes at West Lincoln will be on YouTube audio, and I think it's called the Lincoln County channel.
Correct.
And then you got RS Central at Wilkes Central. It'll be YouTube. It says video, actually. I missed that earlier. It says YouTube video, and also be on WAGGY 107.5 FM and 1320 AM in Forest City.
Okay. Well, good, guys. We appreciate it. We're going to wind down here. We appreciate you tuning in to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show on behalf of Brian Branch, Ken Link, Tom Centophony. Folks, North Carolina Friday Night Football playoff time is here. Enjoy the first round of the playoffs. KTC.